Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Chris. I'm a liberal Southerner, and you are watching and/or listening to Politics Southern Style. Thanks, y'all, for checking me out. Hope you'll enjoy what I have to say today. May not be things you want to hear, but it might be some shit you need to hear. Hard to tell. So Trump is really fucking up everything for us as quick as he can, and let's talk about it a little bit. We had this weekend was the hands off protests, and we're here. I'm in here in North Carolina. I'm gonna try to stop touching my glasses. It's my first time trying to make a video podcast, so y'all please forgive me if it's a little bit too much. Yeah, so I rode through over in Chapel Hill and checked out the hands off protest they had going on Franklin Street, and was up on campus, across there. It's where the old well and everything is on UNC's campus, if you're familiar with that area. And so there was a lot of people uptown. We had quite a few demonstrations across the state. And while I support the movement for hands off of women, of children, of a lot of things I want people to get their hands off of me. I don't want people touching me that I don't like. But I feel like the message was kind of lost. Saw people being interviewed. I wanted to get up there early myself and try to interview some folks. Time I rode through, it was so busy I couldn't even find a place to park my little car and get up there. But I was hoping to get there early, but I had too much going on Saturday morning to make it over there. I wanted to try to find a couple of the people that helped organize it, maybe talk to them, ask them a few questions about what they hope to accomplish with the hands off label. I saw some people that were interviewed talking about hands off to our democracy, hands off the government. I'm all for demonstration, and unfortunately, I'm not sure this movement was by young people, which is what we need for a political movement. Seemed like a lot of people there were people that protested back in the day when everything is was civil rights based, women's rights, a lot of that kind of stuff. So the message of hands off democracy is kind of a big blanket statement that I don't really think helps get the point across as well as it could. We need to say things that make it a little bit more specific, like hands off our education, hands off Social Security. By God, we need hands on healthcare because we need to get rid of the insurance companies that are ruining our healthcare. I know too many people that struggle after having surgeries that end up on disabilities. It's a real struggle out there for working poor people. These tariffs, I did some research into the tariffs also, but anyway, about the hands off thing. Let's try to make sure when we're protesting, I mean, I do this. This is my form of protesting. It's why I come on here and I do this podcast, is to hopefully get some other Southerners out there that are liberal minded to recognize that we're not all Trump supporters. So you don't feel alone. I was born and raised in North Carolina. Of course, grew up Baptist and grew up around a lot of conservative leanings and talk. But I've told many times, thank God I grew up in Chapel Hill because it, you know, kind of exposed me to a lot of different ideas that I wouldn't have gotten exposed to in some of the other towns in the state that I lived in as a child because we moved a lot, and not because we were in the military or my father or nobody was in the military. So, but yeah, I think we need to be a little more specific in what we're talking about when we say hands off. Um, People will say hands off our children on the other side. That hands off shit could be used for the right or the left. And while I am for trans rights, let's make no mistake about that. I also don't think we should be letting kids take hormones to change their sexuality when they don't really know who they are yet. I mean, you wouldn't let your 13-year-old girl marry a 14-year-old boy and start having babies because they're not ready for that. And so mentally, you're not fully developed. So we all have a lot of weird questions growing up, and you hit puberty, it really, really does that. And we're all susceptible to peer pressure. I certainly was. Some of the decisions I made in my life I wouldn't have made if it weren't for pressure from family members and or friends. And not to say they're to blame, but it certainly when the people around you say things, you're easily influenced at a young age. So, all right, so hands off my education, hands off my Social Security. That's what we need to be talking about. Hands off my freedom of speech. I think I heard one person say that, but the left has been trying to do that already, taking away people's freedom of speech. And then I saw the inherent dangers there. I knew the right would jump on that bandwagon as soon as they were in charge. So careful what you ask for, folks. You just might get it. You start talking about limiting hate speech, and then that's just speech. Don't forget that it's speech. All right, my next topic of the day. What else do we want to talk about? Elon Musk and Doge. What a piece of shit Elon Musk is. And really fucking don't like that guy. But, of course, I'm not a fan of billionaires. And because I grew up poor, living in the trailer park. And I'm going to try to adjust my mic. I think she was slowly falling on me. It's like I was losing my boner, man. So yeah, Elon sucks like hell. I love that some of his Teslas are made in China, so he don't like the tariffs, I'm sure. So conflicts of interest much? I mean, both our president and the Elon Musk guy, whatever he's in charge of, the Doge, the shit that doesn't actually exist, Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. I guess you can just make one. I mean, by that, I mean I could just make some shit up too, but it doesn't make it real. So yeah, fuck Elon Musk and the horse he rode in on. So there, that's enough about Elon. Our Department of Education. Hey, Department of Education. I keep looking down because this is where I have my notebook, y'all. I don't have a fancy teleprompter or anything like that. Linda McMahon, she's in charge of our education, so that's got to be good. A billionaire lady. You can't write this shit. I don't even know what to say about it. It's so fucking ridiculous. I did see that they're wanting to privatize it, privatize the education stuff, which is hilarious when they start talking about what did she say? Going to treat it like it's a small business loan, which is exactly what Neil Brennan talked about in his stand-up special, Three Mics. He talked specifically about maybe you're a small business, but you're not such a good business person. But you have a plan to get that money back for the banks. You're going to get a degree in sociology. So, yeah, shout out to Neil Brennan. Great joke. And clearly, people in the Republican Party were listening because they're like, hey, that's a great idea, Neil. You truly are the brain trust behind the Republican Party, and you didn't even know it. Lord help us. Lord help us. Make America healthy again. Maha! That's what we want to do. Make America healthy again. When were we healthy? I guess we must have been the most healthy probably right around the Great Depression time. I'd say that's probably it. People were starving and shit. Living in Hoovervilles. Oh, wait, that's happening again. Got people living in homeless encampments and shit everywhere you go. Every state in the union, as they like to say. Don't forget, folks, your poor, uneducated, and sick people are easy to control. Don't forget that. That was said at the end of the movie Sicko by old, what was it? Michael Moore had that movie Sicko. And at the end of it, he had an interview with a gentleman from helped start the Labor Party over in England. And that gentleman was where I heard that expression first said. I'm sure he's probably not the first person to use it, but in my mind, he coined it. And yeah, man, looking tough, looking real tough, America. Looking real tough. The stock market dropped like a rock, and that was expected with the tariffs. And yeah, I looked up tariffs. I've got a book here. It's called The Wealth and Poverty of Nations by David S. Landis. He's a professor emeritus from Harvard and stuff, economist. And I went through this book and looked up everywhere I could find any historical references to tariffs and, how they would affect, how they have affected populations and governments around the world throughout time. at least back into the 1700s and stuff like that. Um, but there are references to tariffs and their effects on governments and empires from like England to and India, talking about cotton stuff and all that kind of shit. But there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pages in this book, throughout this book, through different sections in this book. And as you can see, it's a pretty big book. Yeah, there's 15 pages in there where it's referenced. And of course, I read before and after these sections to try to get a good idea of what he's talking about in there. And absolutely not one of those instances does it show anything, not one thing that he showed in that book where it was beneficial to working class people. When you bring in tariffs like this, what it does is creates more money for industry and makes industry more wealthy. So I guess if that's the goal and to bring jobs back here to America, industrial jobs, then that would be great. Except for we don't have any industrial jobs here. So as a result, we don't have any stuff set up for industry. I know a guy who did hardwood flooring and like take a tree and turn it into hardwood flooring. So the equipment that you need for that is pretty serious shit. Joiners and like big industrial joiners and planers and it was this other big machine. I forget what it was called, but it was very complicated. I certainly couldn't operate it. And most people couldn't. I mean, they stopped making a lot of these things here in America back in the 30s or like the 40s, 50s. A lot of this stuff, some of the machines he had were made then. But they were being, he was getting these things for little and nothing out of textile mills and things like that were shutting down here in North Carolina over the past like 30, 40 years. So it's kind of like when vinyl records have made a comeback, but there's nobody has any of the equipment to make vinyl records. So there's only a few companies that really are able to process any significant amount of records at a time. And so you, if you don't have a facility to do this stuff, then you have to build that facility up. You got to get the equipment. Then of course you have to have the workforce to do the work. And so maybe they're talking about this is going to help the economy in the long run, but there's nowhere in this entire book, The Wealth and Poverty of Nations, that I could find where it was beneficial for working people, which is what we need, is working class jobs. But I see them talking, oh, we're going to fix the robots. It's going to be AI. Everything's going to be AI, but then the people are going to fix the robots and the AI. And if I were a conspiracy theorist, I would say all this shit is just, when they're talking about we're going to have some struggles, it's going to be the same thing you had in the Industrial Revolution, where some people end up homeless and starving in the streets, and they won't care about that. That won't be the relevant part, because it's going to be for the good of the system and the moving on and everything like that. Just like when you had the revolution in Russia, same kind of shit. People end up dying, and it's for the good of the, for everyone. So that's all right. They don't care. Industry, worldwide stuff. It's all set up. Hey, here's some Waterloo. I am not sponsored by them, but if they ever want to give me some money, I'll take it. Sorry about that. I had to have a little sip of my delicious sparkling water. But yeah, in that book, he just talks about it, helping industry. So tariffs will help industry. It will not help us regular working class folks. I know they talk about stocks dropping and everything affecting the rich people and hurting the rich people. Most poor people can't feel it, at least not directly, not immediately. We won't feel that shit until for God knows how long, if we ever do, if it ever makes it down this far. But it's interesting. You see everybody on the left in the mainstream news is immediately talking about, oh, we're going to lose all this money in the stock market. So they're outing themselves as only caring about the stock market, and they're letting you know they never were, or maybe they were at one point, but they are not the party of the working people, and Republicans certainly are not the party of the working people. And all the people that were duped into thinking they are the party of the working people now, I hope that their eyes are being opened and they're realizing that Trump and the Republican Party does not care about working people any more than the Democrats did. And So if Congress and Senate doesn't stand up to what's going on and they don't start doing the jobs that they're supposed to do, which is be a civil servant and work for the people that elected them, instead of taking money from, big business and corporations and lobbyists and, that will be the fall of democracy. That's how it always works, right? Was it the Senate, the senators in Rome, once the Senate is corrupt, then what do you got going on? So, are they going to rise up and stab Julius Caesar Trump? I doubt it. Are we all just going to suffer the consequences of all these things they're doing to continue to make rich people richer? Yes, we are. They're going to continue to do stuff like make tariffs that push up prices for working class people? Yes, they are. Are they going to stop funding public education? Yes, they are. They don't care if your children are ignorant and stupid, and they get people worked up about, oh, they're teaching your children this or they're teaching your children that, and you should be the one that's in charge of teaching your children. Some people are not qualified to teach their children anything. And what they might teach them might not be good for them to learn. Now, the freedom of America allows you to do that, but you need to have a public educational system set up to, you can send your child there and make it optional to send your child there. What you do is you want to make the best educational system you can, and therefore your kids, and you want to send them there. But when you feed people full of propaganda constantly, telling them they're going to turn your children from one sex to another, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous without your knowledge. And if they're trying to allow that to happen, then that's just I don't know what to say to that. I don't have kids. I saw the writing on the wall of having children in this day and age. I know what it was like for me growing up. I was grown up at 13. Not because I wanted to be, but because I didn't have a choice. And I recently had a picture on my desk here that I would look at, and I had to just turn it away. I had to put it away in the desk. I couldn't look at it anymore because it was me at about 14, and I can just see this picture, and all I can see is how, in my mind, how grown I was then and how I was living an adult life and already working and paying for my own car and everything in my own name. And when I see that picture of myself, I can see how young I was, that I was just a kid, even though I was living like an adult. So, yeah, man. Things are changing. Times they are changing, as Bob Dylan said many, many years ago. And, yeah, the hands-off movement was unfortunate. Didn't see many young people out there. There was a lot of gray-haired people out there reliving their youth. Back when doing things like that seemed to make a difference, so the protesting seemed to matter. But now, the people that are organizing these things, I don't think really know what they're fighting for. A lot of them are out there, I think, just to try to get recognition and to make themselves look good. I saw this douche, some asshole has a show called The Benny Show, some right-wing fucking asshole. I fucking hate these guys that look like they spend their whole fucking day at the gym and they've never done a day's work in their life. And they go in there and say, I quote him here saying, "Losing money costs you nothing. It's just numbers on a screen." I got news for you, Benny. It's more than numbers on a screen for us fucking poor people. Okay? When you talk to fucking poor old people that live down the street from you and they're on the verge of tears because they're worried about losing their Social Security or how they're going to fucking buy groceries, tell them the money doesn't cost you anything. What did he say? You're going to put it on your fucking gravestone after you're dead? What? That dude needs to have the shit slapped out of him by a working man with some good calluses on his hands, like I used to have. I don't have them anymore, but I, by God, have had them. I got permanent sun damage, and this shit ain't from laying around in the sun. This is from fucking working out in it all day long for 35 fucking plus years. And when I wasn't doing that, I was working in a restaurant. And sometimes I was doing that and working outside all day. That's what working class people do, Benny. Because money does cost you something when you lose it. It fucking costs you groceries. That old-fashioned word that Trump's never heard before. This old-fashioned word, groceries. What is this? Groceries? What is groceries? Blah. Carpet bagging Yankee billionaire piece of shit. Groceries is not an old-fashioned word, you dumb son of a bitch. So working class people need to fucking feed themselves so they can get up and go to work the next day. So they can try to feed their fucking children. I don't know. Maybe they have a dog. Maybe they can afford to fucking feed it. I swear, man. Shit makes me mad as fuck. You know? We got genocide going on in Gaza. And I'm not a fucking anti-Semite at all. I hate all people equally. I'm well aware that we all suck equally, okay? We all have the potential for evil. We all have the potential for good. Doesn't make a fuck what your religion is, your sex is, your sexual preferences. Doesn't fucking matter what color you are. We all can be shitty, hateful, devil creatures, and we all can be fucking angelic, wonderful, caring souls. Okay? Don't make any mistakes about it. Anybody that says different is fucking selling something, right? Life is pain, Highness. And anyone else that says anything different is selling something. And that's a quote from Princess Bride, for all you who don't know. That little movie / book reference. Oh, what else did I want to talk about? I have things written down, you know. Oh, so much shit I want to talk about, you know. Poor people don't own stocks. Poor people don't fucking have stocks, Dick. We don't have stocks. It's fucking insanity. Don't have any stocks. We don't have stocks. No stocks for poor folks. We just do good. What did Johnny Cash say? If there's a substitute for bread and beans, I ain't seen it. And that's the kind of shit poor folks know about. I got ham bones in my goddamn freezer. You think I ain't saved ham bones from last year at Christmas or something? I did. I got dried beans in here too in the cupboard. And I'm not no crazy person that thinks I need to stock up on a bunch of shit. I just know if I get hungry one week and I might need some beans and a ham bone, I got that shit. I got cornmeal too, so I make some fucking cornbread. Poor people have these things on hand. Okay? I'm a Southern liberal. I told my therapist that I would classify myself as a liberal, and she thought that was funny. She said, well, Chris, I just think of you as Chris. I don't really think. I said, that's because I don't like labels. I see the absurdity. It makes it easy for you to put me in a category and dismiss anything I say. And, you know, that's bullshit. We're all individuals. Don't fucking follow the leader. Don't be a sheep. And the sheeple shit. I love how conservatives take terms and then it's, you know, God. I mean, I heard that shit way before some dumbass Republicans started saying that stupid shit, and it got lumped in with something like conservative bullshit. What else is going on? We got never-ending wars because we're going to keep industry and the military-industrial complex going. We're going to go to war with Iran. You know, shit, might as well. Fuck it. It's the only thing we got. That's the only thing we export is war. We export war better than anybody. You know. Oh, the Make America Healthy Again. That was something I was going to talk about. So that shit, they're going to take it so you can't buy soda pop and things like that, which is great, right? Except for they'll just use that shit to limit the amount of money they give people for food stamps. They'll say, well, if they're not buying this sugary stuff, then they won't need as much, and that'll save us money. They won't give you the same amount of money. So they won't give you more so you can buy healthy shit. You'll see. All this shit is just an opportunity for them to shit on poor people more. Every single fucking time you see them doing this stuff and they talk about they're going to do this or that and it's going to save money and we're going to make America healthy. Who are you making healthy again, motherfucker? You're going to starve the fucking poor people. Just starve the poor people. That's all you got to do. Just starve us and we'll get healthy again. Unfucking believable. Yeah, when I was a kid, everyone was healthier because fucking half the people in the South were starving to death, and we didn't care because we were rich, and so we went around and we fucking, said we were going to save the poverty. Fucking suck it, Kennedy. Swear to God. Every time I find one of these assholes I think might be a decent person, they all just show themselves. Tulsi Gabbard, she's turned out to be a real piece of shit warmonger like the rest. It just never stops. Every time you think one of them is going to turn out good, they just fucking same old shit. And then I laugh my ass off. I see these fucking assholes. Haven't heard Brett Weinstein in the fucking Dark Horse podcast say a goddamn word about Trump limiting free speech or these tariffs, how they're going to affect poor people. All you could talk about was COVID and free speech shit and now I haven't even fucking listened to his shit. I got so fucking pissed off. People that say they're liberals who then jump ship and go over to the other side. I haven't jumped ship. I just quit fucking voting for goddamn Democrats. I never voted for Republicans. I still don't. I voted fucking Green Party. I don't give a shit. You can't force me to vote for someone that I don't believe in just because you say it's the lesser of two evils. I see them both don't give a shit about the American people. They don't care about poor people. They care about industry and making rich people richer. And health care, they don't want health care. They want health insurance companies to get wealthy. That's all this shit is about, is making money. That's where capitalism starts to fail. Leaves out all the social qualities, the things that we need, things that we're entitled to because we fucking paid for it because you took it out of our checks without our permission. You just take it. And even still, we voted in for fucking income tax because poor people need it when they get old. We need that shit. Because people are not smart enough to be allowed to save money for themselves. Or what are they going to do, put it in a fucking bank and then let them take it from you? 401ks are going out, fucking dropping off like hell right now with all this shit because the banks take and they invest in 401ks into bullshit like, shitty housing markets and stuff. And the fact that that's all allowed to happen is deregulation. All the deregulation they talked about. So that everything is monopolized. We're right in the situation we were before the Great Depression. Right back there again, folks. Go back and read Grapes of Wrath. I think there's a line in there where John Steinbeck said, if you need help, ask the poor. They're the only ones that will help. The only ones. And that's proven, by the way, proportionally, money-wise, poor people give way more to charity than rich people do. Rich people only give money to charity because they use it as a tax write-off. Not because they care. So anyway, this is my first attempt at making a video podcast to send up on Spotify and stuff. I may even upload this to Rumble, as I do have a Rumble account, but I never really put anything on there. I have a YouTube account. So I'm going to start trying to put all this stuff out. Maybe try to spread my word because people were talking to me, oh, you didn't go to the protest. It's like, I'll do a podcast every week, or try to every week when I'm not feeling defeated by this thing because no one hears me. I thought maybe if I put my pretty face up, hey, maybe people would pay attention more. Maybe I'll get some ladies to check it out. Anyway, that was a joke. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys, or watching, or whatever it is you do. Please tell your friends. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe, or follow, or whatever it is that you do. And if you like it, leave me a comment. That would be awesome. I'd love to hear what you think. If you don't like it, tell me that too. Tell me I'm a fat ass. I don't care. I already know that shit. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I've been told that since I was in kindergarten. Nah, it's not the first time I heard that one. Anyways, thanks for listening, you guys. You don't have to like America, but as Ric Flair said, it's the best thing going today. Woo! And anyway, remember, as always, question authority.